What's up guys, not Super Mario here and welcome to today's video. I have a special guest here with me and we are doing top 10 best movies of 2019. This is of course a subjective thing, so please be nice in the comments down below and share your lists of top 10 movies of 2019. And yeah, all the links for his channel are in description down below, and also a video that we already made on your channel, the best movies of the decade, which is also a subjective thing. So without further ado, let's begin.
Okay, so the first honorable mention I have it's Midsummer.
Good one.
I thought it was the style of that movie is just very unique to me. Ari Aster, he made last year's Hereditary. I really enjoyed that one. That was actually on my top 10 last year. Midsummer, I don't think it's as good as Hereditary.
Yeah, I would agree.
But a very strong addition to this guy's filmography, and I think that the performance is just overall in this entire movie.
Florence Pugh.
I think that she's great new talent.
Mm-hmm.
And also, who's the guy from Transformers 4?
Jack Rayner? Something like that?
Yeah, I thought that he was actually really good in the movie
Yeah,
also.
surprisingly good, because his filmography not the best.
Yeah, and he has some brave scenes, let's
Yeah.
just say that. Yeah, I thought that just the style and just something doesn't feel right about the events of this movie just from the beginning, and how all of that is edited together and how it's directed. I just think it's a really strong piece of filmmaking, but just it missed the list just a little bit.
So to start my honorable mention, I will start with Midsummer as well. I
Okay,
have
great.
Midsummer on my list as well. All the things that you said, I agree totally. It isn't as good as Hereditary, but I still like it. It is weird, creepy. Florence Pugh, Will Poulter, Jack Rayner, all great performances, and Ari Aster. I cannot wait to see what he does next.
So my next honorable mention is you might be mad. It's Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh,
I think it's a little too long. I'm not gonna lie, but overall, just James Mangold's his great direction is seen all over this movie. I think it's beautifully handled. Just especially some shots, the cinematography and
cinematography is beautiful.
and how the visual effects are implemented in just overall real environment. I thought it was seamless. And I think that Christian Bale is an absolute genius. I think that he's insanely good in this role. And also, I mean, Matt Damon was really good. He actually really surprised me towards the ending of the movie, like in the last 10 minutes. I thought that he was really good. But overall, I think that Christian Bale just owns this entire movie.
Yeah, he's a magician. I feel
Yeah.
like this movie, and we're gonna talk about this movie a bit later.
Okay.
Is if Christopher Nolan made this type of movie, this would be that movie. I
Yeah,
mean, James
yeah.
Mangold, it's a masterpiece in my opinion, and it's higher on my list, but I'm not gonna talk on which
Okay.
position. My next honorable mention, it is Rian Johnson's Knives Out.
Oh.
I think it's an amazing movie, but because when I saw the movie for the first time, I actually watched it twice. Because
great. Yeah, me
for the
too.
second time, it was much better than the first time. The first time I was a bit scared because
The Last Jedi.
no. I love The Last Jedi. I love The Last
Yeah,
Jedi, but I was scared because it didn't get anywhere. We were just okay. So we are now. This is the thing. How is this gonna resolve? And for the 3/4 of the movie, I was like, oh my god, what is gonna actually happen? Is this gonna resolve in a good way or in just some weird, I don't know, predictable way? But because of the ending, this movie is as good as it is.
So the next honorable mention I have, it's Rocketman, directed by Dexter Fletcher. I'm not the biggest fan of musicals, but when
I am.
but when a musical is great, I think it's great. I'm one of those few people. I'm not gonna say few people because a lot of people like this one, but I actually really enjoyed the Greatest Showman.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I actually think that movie is absolutely beautiful. and a lot of catchy songs in that. And also this one, I mean, it's Elton John's
so.
the music.
It's awesome.
Yeah, but I think that Taron Egerton or whatever you say.
I think it's Edgerton.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever.
He has to say.
Fuck that guy for having that name. But I mean, sorry for cursing.
No. This is not really a friendly channel. Not made for kids.
Okay, so I think that he was great in this role.
He was incredible.
I think that unfortunately, I believe that he won't get much recognition in awards, but he did get a lot more than I was expecting so far. So I will say that I would love to see him get an Academy Award nomination, but it probably won't happen. But I think that he was absolutely great. Just how they transformed his look. I mean, he actually looks like, in regards to hairstyle and everything, he's similar to Elton John. And I think that just overall the movie has great heart, and just some events, how some music is changed into its own style. I thought it was beautifully made.
Yeah, incredible movie. So my third honorable mention is Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Jojo Rabbit, Taika Waititi. I think he did something that nobody expected. I was like, this movie is not gonna work. And if I'm honest, the first 10 minutes I was worried because it was offensive, but I was like, not offensive that I was offended, but I was like, if this is the whole movie, Jesus Christ, what the heck is gonna be this movie?
Yeah.
But when it starts, like it's just incredible. Everybody, the kids, Thomas and Mackenzie, I mean, she's incredible. Last year she did Leave No Trace. Nobody saw that movie. Yeah. Incredible performance. Taika Waititi, the kid that was actually nominated for a Golden Globe. I was surprised, but very happy for him. So yeah, Jojo Rabbit, incredible, moving movie. I mean, who would have thought that a Nazi movie with Adolf is gonna be heartwarming?
So my last honorable mention is Uncut Gems. I think it's. Did you see Good Time?
Yeah.
I don't know which one I prefer. I think they're both really strong, and it does feel like it's directed by the same guys.
Safdie brothers.
Yeah, and it's just the similar pacing, and it's just really entertaining. And I'm going, just Adam Sandler in this movie is unbelievable. I was when they were kind of like because I saw this movie a couple of days ago. And everybody was just raving how they are snubbing Adam Sandler in these big ceremonies. And I was like, is he that good? And then I was watching the movie and I was like, he is incredible. I mean, he's just in the entire movie, this character is just making choices when you are just like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, you're such an just idiot. Why are you doing stuff like that? But his performance, he just gets himself into trouble all the time throughout the movie. And it's just so fun to watch. I think that just the performances in all regard, because there's a lot of people that are not actors.
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah. Because I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm gonna see it in the next couple of days. But yeah, I heard only good stuff.
Yeah. Just very natural performances and the writing and everything, very strong.
So my last honorable mention is Doctor Sleep.
Okay.
I think it is the best horror thriller movie of 2019. It pays homage to the Shining, and it does something totally different and new. Rebecca Ferguson is incredible. Should be in consideration for an Oscar. Yeah. She was, and she's an incredible actress already, but in this movie she just transforms into something so menacing and creepy and just sucking all those souls out of people for whatever reason. I love that movie, and it was an amazing sequel, but still it stands on its own as a movie. Now you can start with number 10.
Okay, so some great discussion there. I must add. I have to give the credit to our discussion before the list starts. But now let's get to the real thing. So we're gonna start my list with the number 10 choice, Us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know that you might not agree. We had some discussions about this movie.
Yeah.
I loved this movie. I might enjoyed it more than Get Out. Don't hate me.
No, I don't agree with you, but...
Yeah, so now you must hate me. So
yeah, of course, I hate you. What the heck?
I don't even know what Darksaber is. But so overall, Us, just stylistically very well made. The sound design and the film editing in that movie is what made it for me. Just some cuts towards the ending, especially like with the big action fight scene between Lupita Nyong'o's.
Yeah. Two Lupita Nyong'o.
Like that fight scene, like how it's edited with like some flashbacks and stuff, and the musical score and everything, it just really worked for me. I think that Lupita Nyong'o gives one of the most underrated performances of the entire year.
I totally agree with that.
I think that she's great. It's so unsettling to watch this movie. When I watched it for the first time and she starts speaking for the first time, it actually disturbed me. I thought it was very disturbing.
Yeah, her
and
voice is
it
weird as heck.
what?
I
And I was
mean-
like, oh shit! I just get chills whenever I think about that scene. But very entertaining. And when we were talking about Midsummer and about movies that have like disappointing endings in some way, I don't mean to say like it didn't work, but
It didn't
disappointing
work
in
as-
like in like that there are
You were expecting something else.
that
I
it doesn't end well for like good guys in the movie.
Yeah.
And Midsummer was like that, even though you can kind of like subjectively look at that in that movie. But I enjoy Jordan Peele's like approach to satisfying and cheer-worthy endings, like especially with Get Out, and also with Us, just to have satisfying stuff and fan service. I would say fan service. I think it's a right word, just to have some pretty kick-ass moments in your movie. And I really enjoyed Us. I actually loved
I
it.
totally agree with everything you said, but the biggest problem I had with this movie, it got too psychological for me.
Oh.
It was like I felt it was forced. What were they trying to do? I totally get everything that Jordan Peele was trying to do. Lupita Nyong'o should be nominated for an Oscar, maybe even win it. I mean, she's
Maybe.
incredible.
But Scarlett Johansson though.
Yeah, she's gonna probably get that one.
Oh.
But still, I think because of the it felt forced. That's the
Oh.
biggest problem for
Okay.
me. The whole psychological and tether and then she's the tether actually, and
Yeah.
I mean that thing was problematic for me, and that's why it's not even on honorable mentions. My number 10 is a movie that unfortunately nobody saw.
Okay.
Wild Rose.
Yeah.
Have you heard about it? No.
I heard about it and
It's
yeah.
Jesse Buckley
Yeah.
should be in consideration for an Oscar.
Now I get your email with the performance.
Jesse Buckley is incredible. This movie is about a girl who just got out of prison, has 2 kids, but she wanna be a country singer. Goes to Nashville, USA, Texas, wherever it is, but she's got 2 kids and she comes back. She doesn't really care about them, but at the end she does. The music is incredible. I think
Okay.
Glasgow should get an original song Oscar for
Nice,
sure.
nice.
Incredible. And I'm not really a country, like really fan of country, like a big fan. I
Yeah.
like it, but this movie moved me. It's so simple but so incredible. Wild Rose. Nobody has seen it. Go see it.
My number 9, Joker.
It's on the list. It's on the list.
Joaquin Phoenix, one of the best performances of the year for sure. I'm not going to argue with that. The tone of the movie, just it works for this movie. Very dark, just a great sense of desperation and everything, and just how the entire production design of this movie with garbage lying everywhere. It's so well done. It's well directed. I'm not gonna say it's the best directed movie of the year. I wouldn't say that. Todd
I can
Phillips,
agree with that.
I wouldn't say that Todd Phillips deserves Best Director nomination, but however, the last half an hour of this movie, I think it's incredible. I love it. It's just number 9.
So my number 9 is a movie that I saw 2 days ago, The Lighthouse,
Oh,
by
nice.
one and only Robert Eggers. I have to say I haven't seen The Witch.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
So I haven't seen any of his other movies. I think he did The Witch and something else. But this movie, Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, just like doing weird shit the whole movie, but it makes sense. It's so Willem Dafoe plays this weird pirate talking Irishman. I don't know what the heck was he
Yeah.
doing, but it is incredible. It gets really weird with all the tentacle stuff and mermaids, but it makes sense. And Robert Pattinson, I cannot wait to see his Batman.
Yeah.
Because he is incredible. He is so, you can see how focused he is in what he's doing. It's very weird. The movie is weird, but
yeah.
I love it for that. But at the end, it makes sense. And the cinematography, black and white, shot in 19:1 scale, something weird. It's on an island with a lighthouse, and that's the only thing. You've got 4 characters, max. Only Willem Dafoe and Pattinson are like the main guy that are like
yeah, of course.
99% of the movie. I love this movie.
I also really enjoyed it. It's not on my list or in the honorable mentions. It's super weird.
Yeah.
I do not know. Maybe I will like it much more when I see it for the second time, but I don't know when I'm going to watch it for the second time because it demands so much from you, and it's just so. Oh shit!
I will say that it's not very rewatchable because
Yeah,
it is so weird.
Yeah, and also very slow.
Yeah.
But when you said, yeah, of course, Robert Pattinson is incredible. I cannot wait to see his Batman, and if he brings some of that rage that he used in beating up that seagull
Oh my
to
gosh! I was
Batman,
like,
that's going to be incredible.
imagine that he is nominated for an Oscar.
And they
it's
show
not,
this scene.
yeah, it's not gonna happen. But
Yeah.
imagine if they're showing that scene, everybody's gonna be like, "Really? That happened?"
Yeah, and also like you said, Willem Dafoe playing that angry Irishman. Maybe the only mention of the Irishman in this video. But I think that he's incredible. And Willem Dafoe, I think, more than Pattinson, should be in more talks for the award season this year. He was sick.
Yes, the way he says "thank you," it's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. And the movie is really funny.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
incredible
some
how funny it
insults,
is. Yeah.
some insults by Willem Dafoe just are,
Incredible.
yeah. Number 8, I have Marriage Story.
Oh, it's slow on your list.
It's on my list.
Yeah, it's on your list, but I
Yeah, I
expected it to be higher.
I know. I think that the performances are the strongest part about this movie. It just feels like you're watching the realest movie ever made. It's just so real. Adam Driver, I think that he is my choice for best actor this year. I think that he was just at times very subtle performance, but still you get some of that big Oscar screaming and yelling stuff from him. But I think that he felt very real, and I think it's, like, in my opinion, the strongest performance of the year. I didn't see every single movie, so yeah, that's fair, but still Adam Driver is great in this movie. Just like Scarlett Johansson, I think that she was great. And also, I don't know what it is with this type of depressing movies. I think that this movie at times is extremely funny.
Yeah.
I thought the exact same way with Manchester by the Sea. Just the most depressing movie of all time. But there's just some stuff in there when I'm like, that's
I
hilarious.
mean, that salad scene.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
they're like arguing, and then the next second Laura Dern is like, so what you're gonna order? A
Yeah.
salad? Oh, okay, a salad.
He's very, like, shocked by it all.
Yeah,
He
and then
doesn't
Scarlett
know-
Johansson orders for him. It's
Yeah.
like so weird, but it works. My number 8 is Ad Astra.
Oh, great.
I love that movie. It's a space movie. What?
I just mentioned Brad Pitt.
Yeah, and
That's fate.
That's fate.
That's fate.
Space movies. If you say that you're making a space movie, I'm sold already.
Yeah.
I love space movies. Yes, it is really slow. This is a really slow movie, but the performance of Brad Pitt is just so, I don't know how to describe it, so subtle, so calm,
Yeah.
but he is incredible. And this movie has, in my opinion, one of the best action sequences of the year.
Oh, yeah.
On the moon when they're like chasing each other and explode. And incredible thing about that scene is they actually shot it in Sahara Desert.
On the moon.
Oh yeah, on the moon in Sahara Desert, and then they had to like do it like in black and white to make it like it's on the moon.
Yeah.
The way is it James Gray? I think it's the director.
I believe so. Yeah.
He did an amazing job. Yes, this movie is not for everybody, but it is 100% for me. Amazing performance from Brad Pitt. Tommy Lee Jones is in it. I mean, yeah, for 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I
he's in
thought
it.
that he was great.
Yeah,
Tommy
he
Lee
was
Jones
great.
is awesome in this movie. I really enjoyed it. I think I need to see it for the second time. because it didn't entirely work for me.
Mhm.
But I do get what you were saying because it's beautifully made. Just some visual effects, how it's done. It does seem like it's actually shot like the miniatures
Mhm.
and stuff. It's just very well made. It very much in that regard reminded me of Interstellar, how they used visual effects in that movie, and also First Man.
Mhm.
I think that movie also had great visual effect. But yeah, like you said, Brad Pitt was awesome, and just overall very strong movie. It just didn't entirely work for me, but yeah, I would agree with a lot of stuff that you said. My number 7 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I expected that.
Yeah, I enjoy this movie more and more every time I watch it, because yeah, when I watched it for the first time, I was like, some stuff doesn't work about that, and I still believe that not all of the things work. I think that in the middle of the movie, it does kind of slow down. I don't think that we need to see like 40 minutes of Leonardo DiCaprio working on a movie, but
Yeah.
I still, when I watched it for the last time, found all of that stuff extremely entertaining. I think it has two of the best performances of the entire year by Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. I think that they're awesome.
They are good. And
Yeah.
they are really good.
Yeah, I just love Tarantino, man. It's just the dialogue in this and the direction and how just there's some narration in the movie by Kurt Russell just out of nowhere. It just, there's stuff that if any other director would do the kind of stuff
It wouldn't work.
in their own movie, it would be just like, what the hell are you doing? That's completely inconsistent with the rest of the movie. But when Quentin Tarantino does it, you're like, that's incredible. And I don't know what it is, but I absolutely agree with that. I mean, I'm a big fan of him, and just the last 20 minutes of this movie is
Crazy.
the most entertaining stuff that I have seen all year.
Well, my opinion on this movie is not the best.
Well documented.
Yeah, well documented. I mean, this, and I will say it again, it's a controversial opinion, I know, but I think it's the worst Quentin Tarantino movie.
Okay.
And I am the biggest fan, like you are.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And I still think it's an incredible achievement, amazing filmmaking, amazing performances, but I feel like this movie is a couple of incredible moments, and everything else is like, okay. So my number 7 is Rocketman.
Oh,
Rocketman,
okay.
I love that movie. Taron Egerton should be Egerton, whatever, should be nominated for an Oscar. I think what he did was incredible. This is how you make Bohemian Rhapsody. I will say it all over again. This is so much better than Bohemian Rhapsody, in my opinion. And yeah, Rami Malek deserved it. Totally agree. But if he deserved it, I think Taron Egerton should be at least nominated. And everybody else. Bryce Dallas Howard plays this mom so damn good.
Yeah, but it's so weird that she's
It
in
is
this
weird.
movie. Yeah.
And Jamie Bell, he's really good.
Yeah.
Dexter Fletcher's direction is incredible. I love that it is really a musical, and the whole musical performances are incredible. All the songs and how they are incorporated in the movie, I think it's really well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is so much better than Bohemian Rhapsody, in my opinion.
So let's go to my number 6 choice, Booksmart.
Oh, nice.
I think this is one of the most entertaining movies of the entire year. It's so quotable. I can just quote stuff from this movie. It's so fun. And just characters are a lot of fun. Olivia Wilde directs this, and it's just a great job for a first-time directing job.
That's for sure.
Yeah, and it reminded me of Superbad a lot. And just, I really connected with these characters. I was just wishing the best for them. And Billie Lourd in this movie, I think that she's a lot of fun. Just a lot of, just majority of these kids that aren't actually actors, I think just do a great job.
It's really hard when you have people on the set that are not actors and you make them do stuff and it works.
Yeah, and it absolutely works. And just the performances, the people in this movie just feel like high schoolers, and just the interactions between them. It's just one of the most entertaining movies of the entire year, and I can just watch it. It's just so rewatchable.
I have to rewatch it because I do understand why people are raving about this movie, but I still think it's an amazing movie, but it wasn't on my list or honorable mentions. But I have to rewatch it. It is a movie that I think it's gonna be rewatchable for next 10 years. This is like 2010s generation Superbad or something like that.
Yeah, I would say so. And just the chemistry between
What are the
Catherine
names?
Dewar
Yeah.
and
I
Feldstein, Beanie Feldstein.
yeah, she's actually Jonah Hill's sister.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible movie, but it's not on my list. So my number 6 is the only foreign film on my list, and it's Parasite.
Okay.
Parasite by Bong Joon-ho. I mean, he is one of those directors who just crushes every single time. He doesn't follow the rules of Hollywood and how genre works, because in this movie you've got 5,000 genres in one. You've got thriller, you've got horror, you've got comedy, you've got like social, political things, and it's incredible. Performances all over the movie, incredible. Nobody's gonna get nominated, unfortunately. I think the main guy,
Yeah, the performance is not, yeah.
Song something, I don't know the name, I'm sorry.
I have no idea.
I think he should be nominated, and the twist in the middle, I was so surprised by it.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. Yeah.
And it is incredible, and his other movies are awesome as well, so go see his movies whenever you can, because he is one of the best working directors, in my opinion, that is not noticed enough, because he is a foreigner. Like he all of his movies are mostly foreign language, except Snowpiercer, I think. So
And majority of Okja.
also. And look at Okja. It's a weird movie. It's about a weird looking pig or something, but it works. So yeah, Parasite, incredible.
So number 5, Doctor Sleep. Ooh. Cut. Let's do it again. It just really worked for me. I'm a huge fan of The Shining. Overall, beautifully dark, extremely well directed by Mike Flanagan.
Flake Manigan, I almost said. Yeah, Mike Flanagan. He did the Haunting Hill of something.
Haunting of Sharon Tate? No,
not that movie.
Haunting of Hill House and Ouija 2, and he did a lot of stuff. Yeah, Gerald's Game.
That's a good one.
That's great. Mike Flanagan, who also edited this movie, and just watching all of the interviews by him, I just get it, because I also edit a lot of stuff and I want to direct stuff and everything. When actors are like saying he knows exactly how much he needs from the actors because he knows how it's gonna be edited, and I'm like, I would be like that too.
Yeah, he doesn't do a lot of like takes. Like all the actors said, like 2-3 takes max, and he's like moving on. Let's go, let's finish this thing as quickly as possible. So
just Ewan McGregor, Kylie Curran in this movie, I think is a breakthrough performance here. I think that she was great, and how it elevates, or I would say how it expands the universe of The Shining. Does it feel like a completely different movie at times? Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 40 years later.
Yeah.
And
like that.
yeah, and some moments do feel like very Hollywood-like, very fan servicey. Like we need to go to a place.
Yeah.
And it's just like
when he's walking in the hotel, is like, okay, I get it. Every single hotel room, I don't need to see that, but I get it. Why?
I loved it. And how the original music is just put into some scenes here. I was geeking out.
Yeah,
I was just. It was incredible.
So my number 5 is Peanut Butter Falcon.
Oh, great.
Incredible movie. It took me out of the blue. I didn't expect it. I was like, people are raving about this movie. Shia LaBeouf is back in a big way, also doing Honey Boy. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
But Shia LaBeouf is incredible. Everybody is incredible. The girl from that I always forget her name. Dakota Johnson and the main guy, Zach Gottstein, something like that. He's incredible. I mean, the whole movie is so wholesome, so real. Performances. The only thing that it was kind of off was the moment where Zach is doing like wrestling, and then that wrestler is just flying away like he's on.
It's weird,
yeah. It's like some magical thing. It didn't work because the whole movie is so.
I think it didn't happen actually. I think it was kind of metaphorical.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That I would get, but it still felt like it didn't. It didn't. It looked like it's not a part of the movie. It's like okay, that happened, but you forget immediately because
Yeah.
it's so good.
I think it was a moment that was kind of like shown through Zach's
Eyes,
mind.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Number 4, Knives Out.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
It's my kind of movie. Thrillers and murder mysteries. I love them, except for Murder Mystery with Adam Sandler.
Haven't seen that, so I don't know. But I can imagine that it's not the best movie ever.
Ryan Johnson, I think that he's great. I really like The Last Jedi.
Me too.
I want to say that.
Yeah. I will praise that movie forever.
We lost a lot of people right now.
Yeah.
And also before that, we were talking about it before also. Yeah, Ana de Armas, I think it's she also just surprised me in this movie so much. I think she's the heart and soul of this movie. Just some moments where she's just crying, and I was like, "Oh God, how can I help you, sweetie?" But I think that
And she's so fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
it's she shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
She's so beautiful.
it's not fair.
Yeah.
And also Daniel Craig in this movie, also beautiful. No, just
I mean, she
beautiful-
looks amazing, but
beautiful performance, I would say.
Yeah.
Just great. How just some stuff. It's like a parody, but it works.
It works.
I think that he's so awesome, especially with some of his line delivery when he's like, really, yeah, well, that's
and the
like-
donut in the donut.
yeah, it's not whole at all. I think it really works. It's so entertaining. You have to listen to all the stuff very carefully, and when you add everything up, are some things far-fetched? Of
Yeah.
course, absolutely.
It's a murder mystery. I mean, if you've got this big family,
Yeah.
it's weird that actually this thing would happen, but it works. It really, really works.
Yeah, the tone of this one, I think it's really strong. It does feel like it reminded me of a Hitchcock style. I thought it felt like something that Hitchcock would do. And also, we were talking about performances. Daniel Craig, Ana de Armas, Jamie Lee Curtis is awesome in
Chris
this.
Evans.
Yeah, Don Johnson
Yeah.
also. Is
That kid that nobody likes.
he's also very funny.
The only thing about the cast, because you've got such a stellar cast,
Yeah.
Lakeith Stanfield is underused.
Oh, yeah, I would
He's
say.
amazing.
He's great in Uncut Gems, though.
Oh, he's in it?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
great.
But he is very underused because he's such a big talent. So
Mhm.
I was hoping from him something more, but he didn't have a lot to do. So my number 4 is Ford versus Ferrari.
Okay.
I think, like I said earlier, it's Christopher Nolan's movie, even though James Mangold did it.
Yeah.
And not to take anything from him, I think he does amazing movies. Logan, what was the something Wire? No, Walk the Line.
Walk the Line,
Walk the
yeah.
Line. That's incredible. This movie, I think, is directed incredibly. The way he shots action and is the delivery from actors are incredible. Christian Bale, Matt Damon, amazing
Noah
performance.
Jupe.
Yeah,
Like the
Noah
kid.
Jupe. Yeah,
I think that he was great.
incredible movie.
And also James Mangold, if you notice it in the credits, he uses the exact same font as in Logan.
Yeah.
And that's
I saw that.
That's an interesting fact that I found very entertaining. Let's move on to my number 3, Parasite.
Oh, nice one.
It just the messages in this movie about society and everything, and it just worked. And it's at the same time it's so many different genres. You said that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, so many different genres in one, and just at some moments it feels like a horror movie. It has one of the scariest shots of the entire year, like with the guy coming up the stairs from from the basement, and his eyes when he's like looking like that. When the kid when the mom is talking about like the kid saw something in the kitchen, and that shot is there. I was like, oh shit!
Yeah, it was crazy looking, but amazingly done.
Yeah, and the ending of this movie, like the last 10 minutes, it's just so there are some movies when a reveal happens and it works, it's kind of epic to me. Like when some reveals really work, it inspires me so much. I want to go out and make a movie of my own, and it's so great. It's so inspiring. I loved this movie, and like I said, the messages about society and how this family is just struggling so much, and then you see in the rich people's family, like they're like pointing out some stuff that present a real problem to the lower society, and it's it's
And it has, in my opinion, one of the best twists in the decade.
yeah, especially in the middle.
Yeah.
I was truly was not expecting it because I didn't know anything about this movie.
Yeah, me neither.
I didn't even know the main like plot like with this family and what they're going to do. And when we go to like some of the stuff that they're pulling off in this movie, like the family that they're doing, it feels like a Mission Impossible movie at the time, especially with some slow motions and stuff. It is. Oh, that's a brave statement. I think it's the best directed movie of the year.
I can agree, but we have you seen 1970?
No, I didn't see it yet.
So maybe that would be.
Yeah, so that's why I said it's a brave statement. But from the movies I did see, it's for sure one of the best directed
for
movies
sure.
of the entire year.
My number 3, you could expect it. It's Avengers Endgame.
Oh.
Avengers Endgame is a movie that is gonna be talked about for centuries, in my opinion. It is something that nobody in 2008 expected. It's gonna work, and it did. 22 movies. Well, this is the 23rd.
I think this is the 22, right? Isn't
No, I
Spider-Man
think
23?
Oh yeah, no. Well,
I think so.
oh yeah,
Isn't
yeah,
it
yeah,
23
yeah,
movies
yeah,
in
yeah,
total?
yeah. This is the 22nd.
Nerds.
Nerds. So it worked. It is one of the best conclusions to a franchise, even though it's not concluded.
Yeah.
But to this 22 long saga. So everything about it has twists. It is emotional. It is breathtaking the way it's shot. Russo brothers don't get enough accolades for this movie, even though it's a very collaborative movie. A lot of people worked, and they are the main directors, but I'm sure there are so many directors that actually worked on this movie. But it worked on so many levels. When you've got such high expectations, people are like often disappointed by it when the movie's actually out. But this movie worked.
This one worked for majority of people, I would say. That isn't. It's not like Star Wars where so many people we pissed off so many guys. But it's so many people just start crying about like it doesn't have to be so much hate in the world. Like a lot of people came together like Avengers for Avengers Endgame. I mean, let's talk about it a little more because it's my number 2, Avengers Endgame. So
we can just transition to your number 2.
Avengers Endgame, yeah, of course. Russo brothers don't get enough credit. Maybe they will get some with Cherry.
Oh,
That's more like a movie when they were
Oscar.
When their Academy will be. Finally, we can talk about them. We loved Endgame, but we couldn't talk about them. Just everything, like just how the entire story is constructed, and it just. I love this movie so much. It's like one of my favorite superhero movies. Just it's because it did so much for me. The emotional payoff was so big. The entire last hour of this movie is unbelievable. Some payoffs. I just got emotional watching it. I was just like, for the first 2 hours I was watching the movie. I was really into the story and everything. And in the last hour when Thor gets 2 hammers all of a sudden, I was like, oh yeah, that's a superhero movie. Let's go, baby! I was just like,
I got chills.
Yeah, and like a football game. I was like, oh my god!
Let's go do it. Let's kill him.
I was geeking out. It's a fans movie. It's for the lovers of these characters, and it's also a great movie. It's just good filmmaking.
It's the biggest payoff ever, in my opinion. The way they concluded, I mean, the characters where they're going forward and what happened with Iron Man and Captain America, they did it so damn perfectly, in my opinion. It's incredible what an achievement this is.
Yeah, and I would agree that this is cinema.
Yeah.
I mean,
Martin, if you're listening, this is cinema.
It's a better movie than The Irishman, I would say. And just, it's not just a big CGI movie because there is so much heart in this. And also the performances. These actors are taking this so seriously. Like Robert Downey Jr. is great. Scarlett Johansson is incredible in this movie. I think that she was great. And Jeremy
could be nominated for 3 freaking times this year.
It will never happen for this one, but also Jeremy Renner, I thought, gives a super strong performance because I was kind of feeling like he's kind of checked out of this role already, but then he brings such an emotional performance in this one, and it just really worked. and just how all the effects, how these visual effects are done and everything, and also just let's say Josh Brolin once again, great performance, great performance.
So my number 2 is Marriage Story.
Yeah, okay,
Adam
great.
Driver, Scarlett Johansson, Noah Baumbach. It is written to perfection. This is what type of movies. Well, this is what type of writing I would like to one day be able to do. This is he's not gonna get the director
You think
Oscar.
so?
He's gonna be nominated in my opinion, but not.
Will not win it.
Yeah,
Oh,
not win it.
yeah.
But he has to win the writing Oscar, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, he will. Yeah.
And it's perfect. It's so good that I'm afraid to be in a relationship.
Yeah, that's
Because
for sure. Yeah, I was watching the movie. I was like, I'm never getting married. Why?
This is no. I'm not gonna then have a knife and accidentally stab myself. It is heartbreaking. It is funny. It is. I don't know if it was intentionally funny.
That knife scene must have been.
Yeah,
I was so. He looks at his arm. He's like, oh darn. Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, and I'm almost dying here. Incredible.
The blood is pouring down. He's like, yeah, I'm fine.
And Laura Dern, incredible performance. Ray Liotta, also great. The other
Alan Alda.
yeah, he's incredible. And the kid is really good. He is such an amazing impression of a kid that would be in this type of situation. He's like, what the heck is happening? I want to be with both of them, but it's not gonna happen. I'm sad all the time. It's really, really good. And the scene when the social worker comes, she's so good. She's like, yeah.
And I think that she's from something else also, and I believe that she gives the same performance as in that other, but I can't remember.
I've never seen her before, so
I think that she just talks that way, and it's just so funny. And it's hilarious when he cuts himself and she leaves, and he's like, oh, shit. He goes to the kitchen. It's so real. It feels like you're actually watching like the real.
It's like you're in a bedroom and watching your parents fight, and you're like, no.
Yeah, and that scene when they're fighting is just.
It is incredible. That scene is Oscar worthy. Just that scene.
Yeah, absolutely. If they would still show scenes for riding, because they used to do that when like the text is written on screen and stuff, that should be the scene that they show.
For sure.
And it's it's just the realest movie
Ever.
Yeah.
So what's your number 1?
Okay. We have come to this moment. Number one movie of the year. I'm just going to say this is Jojo Rabbit.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
It's just we watched this movie together actually at a movie festival. I don't know what it was. It just worked for every single thing. Like the comedy works really well. It's one of the most, and I would say that next to Avengers Endgame, but it's the most entertaining movie I've seen all year.
Yeah,
It's just constantly funny. It's so well paced. And just the most adorable performance by Roman Wright Griffin.
Something like that.
I think it's
The kid.
Yeah,
The main
by
kid.
Jojo. Yeah, I think that he was great. Taika Waititi and his directing and just his Adolf Hitler performance is so hilarious. Fuck off, Hitler. And Scarlett Johansson bringing so much heart to this, and also Thomasin McKenzie. When they're talking like that, how they're still good people, that you don't have to be. It has such a nice message. You don't have to be on that side or the other. Last Jedi fans, listen up. Sam Rockwell once again brings that type of character that you hate at first, but then love him by the end, just like 3 Billboards.
Yeah.
Just
I want to see him just do not a drunk person in the next one. I have to see Richard Jewell. I heard he's amazing in that.
Of course.
But he lately he plays drunk people all the time.
Of course, it's it's a similar performance in a lot of his work, but there's so much nuance.
He's a convincing drunk person.
Of course, and I didn't hate Rebel Wilson in this movie. That's
Finally.
an achievement. That's the best movie of the year right there.
If she's not annoying, that's amazing.
Yeah, when I don't hate Rebel Wilson in a movie, that's an achievement. Yeah, of course. Like I said, the comedy, so much heart in this movie. When the movie hits you on an emotional level, when it's sad, it's really sad. Yeah, it's just some of the most emotional stuff I've ever seen. There are like 3 times when I wanted to cry, but I couldn't because it was a room full of people. I was like, nope, nope,
Not gonna happen.
not happening today, baby.
Imagine like everybody's quiet or laughing and you're like,
And you just hear me.
it would be funny.
Yeah, but whenever I watch this movie alone, it's gonna be tear fest. And some details that Taika Waititi puts into this movie, and they are just paid off later on in the movie in such a way that you couldn't ever expect. Just
Incredible.
it's such a weird movie.
Yeah, it's my honorable mention, like I said earlier, but I totally agree with everything you said. It is incredible. I have to rewatch it because I think it's a really a rewatchable movie, and it will get better for me with more viewings. But I totally agree. It's an incredible movie.
Yeah, and just the transformation that Jojo goes through in this movie, and just I think it has a beautiful message. If you are that type of person and you're like, oh, that movie, make a movie about Hitler, cancelled. If you just, it's not a movie about that. It's a movie about just seeing stuff for yourself, and it's a movie about being a human and everything. And it's a movie about so much, and I could never expect that from a movie that is parodying Hitler.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Absolutely go see Jojo Rabbit. It's the best movie of 2019.
Well, I wouldn't agree with that because my number one, my favorite movie of the year, you already know it, is Joker.
Yeah.
This movie is, in my opinion, as perfect as you can get. No movie is 10 out of 10, in my opinion. But this is, for me, as close as it gets. The thing about this movie is, and why it maybe works even more for me, is I had zero expectations. I was like,
oh wow,
a Joker movie, origin story, because I am a big fan of comics and I know Joker really well. And I was like, okay, Joaquin Phoenix, that's a good choice. I was like, yes, that's amazing. Todd Phillips, really hangover guy? I was like, he's gonna do that. But when I saw the movie, I was blown away by everything. The way and the theories that this movie is actually is not happening, that he is just imagining or just telling the story to that social worker or psychiatrist, whatever that is. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix delivers the best performance of the year, in my opinion. He should be getting an Oscar over Adam Driver, in my opinion.
It's gonna be
a tight race between those two. But yeah, everything about, I just rewatched it recently. It's a tough movie to watch, and people say it's not rewatchable. I can see it today again, and I would be like, oh my gosh,
I would say it's rewatchable.
This is an incredible movie. Yes, it's a tough topic, and the way his character goes from a character that you're like, oh my gosh, I feel for him. He's such a injured, hurt character, and then he goes into madness and just being crazy. It's incredible, in my opinion. So, that's gonna be it for our top 10 movies of 2019. Jojo Rabbit here and Joker here. Those are the best movies of the year in our opinion. Share your list in the comments down below, and also go to his channel, Matic Valentan. Links are in the description down below. Go subscribe, like everything. He does Mandalorian reactions. He does all the other reactions. He does movies.
But you do them too.
Yeah, I do them too, but mine are very hated for some reason. So
you don't know what the dark
saber is. But like I said, this year was one of the best years for movies, in my opinion. It was really hard to do a top 10 list. But yeah, share yours in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, share this video all over the place. Click that bell icon to get notified when I upload. And I see you next time.